good evening. You're watching the special edition of the News Hour and I am Swati Joshi. In a major outreach program, the centre has extended an olive branch. The centre has sent out invites to major political parties in Jammu and Kashmir for a dialogue on the 24th of June. As of now, the main stakeholders in the valley are non-committal, but deliberations have begun in parties like PDP, NC and others. And we're also being told that even before the deliberation process began, Mehbooba Mufti slammed the centre. She said that this is not a process to revive the democracy. Meanwhile, what needs to be seen is the response that comes in from these parties ahead of the meeting. Take a look at all the reactions that have come in so far.
To carry on the affairs of the state instead of a rule by Delhi is the only way forward to guarantee full restoration of democratic rights in Jammu and Kashmir.
वो महबूबा मुफ्ती साहिबा को सारी लीडरशिप ने पीएसी के जितने मेंबर्स हैं उन्होंने पार्टी प्रेसिडेंट महबूबा मुफ्ती साहिबा को ऑथराइज किया कि वो इस पे फाइनल डिसीजन लें और उन्हीं का डिसीजन फाइनल होगा।
कांग्रेस का मौक़िफ़ हमेशा रहा है, जहाँ कहीं भी देश में कोई नाराज़गी है, कोई कन्फ्लिक्ट है, पॉलिटिकल है, इकोनॉमिक इशू है, कोई दूसरे तीसरे, उसको हमेशा बातचीत डायलॉग से ही रास्ते निकाले जाते हैं। ये हमारा जमहूरी तर्ज अमल रहा है।
An opportunity for all of us to put forth our views on the various issues. It usually happens that at some crucial juncture, some point of time, the Honorable Prime Minister calls for the all-party meetings. And it is not for the first time it happened.
देखिए, जम्मू कश्मीर में डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हो, ये ज़रूरी है कि सभी लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस में लिया जाए। तो उसी बेस पर मुझे लगता है इस मीटिंग को बुलाया गया है और सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को इसका स्वागत करना चाहिए।
You're watching the News Hour Special Edition, Debate Number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Well, let's open this up and go across to our guests tonight. We're joined by Shazia Almi, spokesperson of the BJP. Shehzad Poonawalla, Times Now's contributor, is also with us on the broadcast. We have Dr. Sameer Kaul, member of Jammu and Kashmir National Conference, Sajjad Tariq, leader of Congress and also political analyst, along with Ilyas Nazir Lave, a lawyer. Good evening to all of you. I first want to go across to Dr. Sameer Kaul. Dr. Sameer Kaul, we've been playing out these reactions coming in. No commitments so far, but yes, deliberations, I believe, have begun at the party level. Now, we're also picking up that the final decision will be taken by the Gupkar Alliance as to what needs to be done, how many representatives are going to be a part of the meeting. But one thing is for sure, this is what reports are telling us, this is what sources are telling us, this is not about restoration of 370. This could be about the delimitation process, this could be about assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir. What's happening within the National Conference? How are you looking at this invite?
I need to thank you first for inviting me on your program this evening, and I'm doing so after a long time. We are within the National Conference, by and large, we have the Political Affairs Committee is in the process of empowering our President, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, and our Vice President, of course, Janab Umar Abdullah, to jointly take a decision in this regard. And I think by the end of tomorrow, we would come to an issue, because it is also a matter of trying to take the other stakeholders along with you in Jammu and Kashmir. So it means talking to the other parties which are a part of the Gupkar Alliance. And we, being the senior members, and Dr. Farooq Abdullah obviously being the tallest person around, I mean, apart from physically, but even from the political sense, it falls on his shoulders to carry everybody along and create a consensus. And I think the initial process has already begun. We owe it to the people of our state, and the last meeting of the People's Alliance clearly enunciated what our concerns were, what the challenges were, and we would like to discuss this further constitutionally. We are already addressing our issues legally, and we look forward. It's a step in the right direction.
Okay, Dr. Sameer Kaul, but what are you expecting from this all-party meeting? You know, if this is about the delimitation process, then it has to be completed before the assembly elections can take place. Why I'm asking this question to you is because Farooq Abdullah and several other leaders already have skipped meetings with the commission.
Well, I don't know whether you're aware, I think in our last working committee meeting, we had deliberations within the party where the party president was empowered to even think of rejoining the delimitation process if required and if need be, because there was an opinion within the party that we must try. You see, at the moment, what we see in Jammu and Kashmir is, although people may want to project any other way, surface peace exists, and there is a narrative of peace, but under the ground, it's quite uneasy. Even if you remember, just last week there was a targeted killing, and the week before, and it's kept on happening. So really, peace has not descended, nor has development dawned, because there never was enough time, and they got so busy with whatever was happening, and it was a one-way process. People really, really unhappy on the ground with their issues not being redressed by their political representatives. So I'm sure if all these issues are discussed, apart from restoration of state power and restoration of the Article 35A and the 370, we would expect to do all these things. And we need to do it because that's what people of the state, and I'm not just saying Kashmir. Remember, in the last two elections, the National Conference garnered 30% of the vote, even in the Jammu division. We are a secular party, and even Ladakh has expectations from us still. Go ask them. So we need to represent all their aspirations, get everybody on board. That is what the party is all about, remember?
Okay.
It was 1939, Madam.
Okay, so let's take that across to Shazia Ilmi. Shazia Ilmi, why don't you clear the air? Okay, why don't you clear the air, Shazia Ilmi? Why don't you present a clear picture as far as the agenda is concerned? Because the question that I want to ask you is the centre seeking validation from these political parties, major political parties or stakeholders in the valley before, of course, the dialogue can begin to resume the democratic process?
No, centre is seeking engagement. Centre is bringing all the stakeholders on the table together. And while I partly agree with what Sameer ji had to say, Dr. Kaul had to say about welcoming this initiative of the centre and wanting to be a part of it, I disagree with him on a lot of other issues. I feel since a year and a half, not in terms of just the ceasefire and the militancy, not only has that come down, but for the first time, I mean, if you look at, I think it's 4,463 panchayats where actually work is happening. If you look at actually building basic electricity infrastructure, it's happening for the first time in areas like Sonmarg and Kupwara. So there are biotechnology parks being made and a whole lot has been done. And as for abrogation of Article 370, it has meant freedom for a lot of people who were discriminated against. And this includes Valmikis. This includes the Safai Karamcharis, as I talked about, the Gurkhas, the women who are out, the LGBT community. So I think this decision by the state to decide who the state subjects are and not to follow the law of the land and respect the sovereignty, to question that at this point of time would not be a very wise thing to do. But yes, the road map ahead. There has to be a calibrated, well-planned and effort which has to include all the stakeholders, and constructive and positive dialogue is the only way to go ahead. So and as Dr. Sameer Kaul said, there is unease. Yes, every now and then we do hear of a BJP corporator or a BJP worker being killed, and that has to be put to an end. So while a lot of things have to be done, whether it's de-radicalization or empathy programs, but it's already being done through infrastructure, we actually working on schools and playgrounds, which I think what the young boys and girls of Srinagar and Kashmir need more than the only resort they had was to do stone pelting. So I think the way is made for a better future for everybody,
you're emphasizing
including
that the
Kashmiri
centre is
Pandits.
seeking engagement.
Yes.
Okay. The centre is seeking engagement and the focus will be on developmental politics. I want to bring in Shehzad Poonawalla. What's also happening for the first time post-abrogation of 370, Shehzad Poonawalla, is this massive outreach by the centre, this dialogue that is going to take place on the 24th of June. Now, of course, like I said, deliberations are on. Like Dr. Kaul was also saying, deliberations are on as far as these parties are concerned. Mehbooba Mufti has come out and has slammed the centre. Ms. Mufti has said that this is not the process to revive democracy.
Well, Swati, first of all, I think all stakeholders who are genuine stakeholders in the development, peace and progress of the people of Jammu Kashmir, and not just certain families of Jammu Kashmir, should welcome this outreach by the central government. And this central government outreach is not coming as a token gesture. Look at what has happened in the last couple of years in Jammu Kashmir objectively. After the abrogation of Article 370, central laws that will benefit the people of Jammu Kashmir, right to education, right to information, laws relating to transparency, social justice have been implemented in Jammu Kashmir. The distance between Lal Killa and Lal Chowk has reduced. Today there is a tricolor fluttering above every building in Jammu Kashmir. And it is not just this. The DDC elections were conducted peacefully with a record turnout of 51%. You've also seen record spending being done by the central government. I just have the figures. The figures are that for the district capex budget for 2021-22, the budget has been made of 12,000 crores, which is double than the previous year's budget. If you see the budget allocated for this Jammu Kashmir state by the central government for the year 2021, it is in excess of 1 lakh crore, which is the highest ever budget that has been allocated for the Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir. So today, clearly the centre has shown by action, by commitment, and by investing in the people of Jammu Kashmir what it intends to do. It has also seen a decline in the terrorist attacks. It has also seen a decline in the Algawadi, Patharbazi that goes on. Today you are seeing Jammu Kashmir also walking on the path of Vikas. Now the simple question is that will the Gupkar lobby put special status for its few families before the actual real special status that the centre is offering to the people of Jammu Kashmir? Unfortunately, some parties want to use the abrogation of Article 370 as an emotional issue, as a communal issue, only to keep the situation in Jammu Kashmir boiling. You heard what Digvijay Singh said in the clubhouse chat. He was parroting the Pakistani line. You have seen the same people once upon a time advocating for Chinese intervention to reimpose Article 370. It must be understood that short of reimposing or bringing back Article 370, there is a whole range of political dialogue, including delimitation process, including return of statehood, including holding fresh assembly elections in the valley. These are the things that will take Jammu Kashmir forward.
I'll take counters from Dr. Kaul on the points that you've made, Shehzad Poonawalla, but I first want to go across to Mr. Sajjad Tariq. He's a leader of the Congress and also a political analyst. Sajjad Tariq, the centre has promised that statehood will be restored, but at an appropriate time. We don't know when that appropriate time is going to come. But if you're talking about assembly elections at this point in time, if that is going to be discussed in the all-party meeting, do you think that's the step in the right direction that will in fact, once again help resume mainstream political activity in Jammu and Kashmir?
Ma'am, first thing I would like to tell you that if at all, why we have made J&K as a experimental laboratory, because you see 2 years back on 5th of August, when state was converted into UT. Now again after 1 or 2 years, we know that we have to make this UT into state again. So my point is this, in this tenure, we have lost so many lives. We have lost a large area of this Ladakh. So why we had, first point is this, why we have done that. Now these discussions, suppose if centre wants that because of Article 370 only or 35A only, all the political problems what are existing in Kashmir, they are only because of 370. So we should have a word with local political parties then also. Now you see, after abrogation of 370 also, there are killings, terrorist activities there. Everything, all those problems which were existing in the state. Let me compile.
But what about individuals? No, I'm asking you only a follow-up question, sir. What about individuals who've got the rights that they were denied for years together?
Ma'am, I'll tell you. Suppose in Himachal, if they have got domicile, if you'll remove Article 371 from there, and tomorrow they demand that we want domicile, then what we will tell them? That there is a China involved into it, or there is Pakistan involved into it. This is all nuisance what we have created. No, let me tell you, Kashmir is a political problem also and a developmental problem also. We need to understand this and we need to address this.
Okay, Ilyas Nazir Lave, do you agree first of all with Mr. Tariq, who says that Kashmir has been turned into some sort of an experiment? It has turned into a laboratory?
It obviously is. I completely reverberate whatever he has said. Having said that, I would like to add on, like the all political parties meeting that is scheduled a few days later. That the agenda is yet unclear. If the agenda of the all parties meeting is restoration of statehood, then I don't think that needs talks, because that's already what has been promised by Home Minister of India in the floor of the Parliament.
That's why I never mentioned that as the agenda.
Yeah. Whatever, like I would like to present before you the ground situation, whatever here is going on the ground corridors of Kashmir regarding this all parties political meeting. The people here are very ambiguous about it's because since the agenda of the meeting is very unclear, the people speculate certain things as to what could be the agenda of the meeting. So one of the agendas could be, like as you said, that the delimitation report that could be presented before it. Second is the people more here are concerned about restoration of Article 370 and 35A, because all these political parties, whatever political parties are going to participate in this, they have unequivocally, I repeat it, they have unequivocally held the abrogation of 370 and 35A as unconstitutional. Because all these political parties which have been invited by the...
Okay, I want to bring in Shazia Ilmi now. Shazia Ilmi, if you heard Mr. Ilyas Nazir Lave, he says the political parties have just one agenda as of now. The stakeholders in the valley want to talk about restoration of 370. Okay. A few more seconds to you complete your point.
I want to just come in and I want to just say,
Shazia, just 1 second. Yeah, just 1 second, Shazia. I just want him to finish his point and then I want to come to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So all these political parties have made certain such exaggerated claims for the people. So I don't think that they can settle down to a restoration of statehood, which is already promised. Second, what people of Kashmir are
okay, now let's take a counter.
What people of Kashmir are eyeing on is that whether these political parties will speak in this all parties meeting with regards to the political prisoners, like leader of Jamaat.
That question is for Dr. Kaul. That question is for Dr. Kaul, but let Shazia Ilmi address the other concerns that you've raised.
So, yes. So
go ahead, Shazia.
First of all, I would like to say that this intervention and this measure that is being taken by the centre and of engaging all the stakeholders is a great one. And I'm glad many parties are responding. I think it's high time to look ahead. And as for those people who felt that there was no need for abrogation for Article 370, I cannot reiterate more as to what this removal of this temporary provision has meant for the state and the people and the real subjects not decided by the J&K legislature but by the Indian laws means for them. So in terms of various laws that are applicable to the rest of India, they apply there. Yes, a few political families will be rebuffed. They've enjoyed it, they've ruled it, they've been like Maharajas. Those are the two families. And you know, Hurriyat played a game, but with a tough and a very determined government, the way NIA has actually traced the money trail and actually figured out and exposed them for who they were. And after a year and a half of reining in, I think we know the situation, how it is. And I think it is the prerogative of the centre to invite all the stakeholders and address these issues. And I don't know why it is being said, because it's for everybody to see in terms of the infrastructure and the works that are in place, the 80,000 crore package that is being done, the basic electricity. You know, there was a Back to Village program that was started. And it did so much good. So let's go to the people of Kashmir, of Srinagar. If you don't want to live in Kashmir and you're saying it's going to be good for Ladakh, we heard what Ladakhis had to say. We heard what Ladakhis had to say as to how they were discriminated. So please, we know better than that.
Okay.
We've
So
had
you're
all
saying
the
listen to the
versions.
voice. Listen to the voice of the people. Right. You're saying listen to the voice of the people. Dr. Kaul, please respond to this point that has been made by Shazia and Shehzad as well, who are saying that abrogation of 370 has only unsettled a few families, not the people of Jammu and Kashmir. And Mr. Ilyas Nazir Labe, in fact, wants more clarity as far as the stakeholders in the valley are concerned. What are the points that you're going to raise in the all-party meeting?
I think much that I would have wanted to believe what Madam Ilmi and Mr. Poonawala, my friend, have talked about figures and statistics and all is well in Jammu and Kashmir. Because obviously I'm a Kashmiri and I also want to feel that all is well, but that will just be a narrative and a feeling. And people may believe it and people may have heard, but if that be so, future will tell. The previous two elections have told. The new ones will tell. But I'm at least happy that the next step that has been taken, people will be empowered to answer that question. And that answer will be the right answer. Forget about my take on it, your take on it, or somebody else's take on it. In democracy, it is the people's take that matters. And they are going to, I'm happy because this step may lead to people being empowered to answer that question. Whether they are happy, they're not, they've got loads of development, they got 80,000 crores, they got whatever you have. I'm not going to waste my time disputing all that. I'm going to say, I'm happy that people are being allowed a chance to answer. Let's just hope that the deliberations are calibrated and handled efficiently in a manner that even Mr. Lava's
Shazia Elmi and you, Dr. Kaul, are both making the same point. You are both making the same point. You're both saying that we need to give people a platform.
Mr. Lava's answer wants and deserves an answer. His question is that why should people be in jail? Please answer him. I'm not the government. The government, there are 2 or 3 people in your...
No, he wants to know from the stakeholders whether you're going to raise that point in the all-party meeting. He wants the stakeholders to respond to that.
Then let it be so. But we must move forward for the sake of people. And for the sake of this country. There is an external dimension, young lady.
Okay, at the cost of repeating myself, you and Shazia Elmi are making the same point. You're saying listen to the voices of the people, give people a chance, let people decide, let them...
Not through media.
Yes, okay, fine.
Let them answer by the vote. Let there be elections. Let people exercise their franchise unhindered.
But Shehzad Poonawala, if the point of contention continues to remain 370, abrogation of 370 and some demanding the restoration of 370, how do you expect a progress to be made through the dialogue process?
You see, Swati, this maximalist position that is being taken because these people are actually wanting the dialogue process to fail. That is when maximalist positions are taken. When a dialogue process is basically being done to ask all the necessary stakeholders what should be the roadmap next for the people of Jammu Kashmir. Here are a bunch of people who I can see unfortunately coming on television, again putting the interests of certain couple of families of Jammu Kashmir ahead of that of the people of Jammu Kashmir. Now I want to ask them, today tell us, has there or has there not been a free and fair process of election during the DDC polls? Have you not, on the one hand, said that, look, this is a mandate against the BJP in the same DDPC polls? So are the people's voices not being heard? But on the other hand, you must also respect the fact that today India has taken a decision as far as Article 370 is concerned. Rather than coming on the table with a point of view that Pakistan would like or a point of view that voters of India would like, why don't you come and discuss about what can be done for the people of Jammu Kashmir? How was Article 370 benefiting Jammu Kashmir? By the way, it was the same Congress party's leaders that once advocated the application of Article 370. It was Gulzari Lal Nanda who said that nothing is left of this Article 370. It is nothing but an empty cover. So, Mr. Dr. Sameer Kaul, do you want just an empty shell or an empty cover that the Congress party had anyways considered it was 50 years ago? Or tell me one thing, that why is it that Article 370 is so precious for you? Article 35 is so precious for you because it denies the Valmiki community the rights that it should have gotten 50 years ago, because it denies women.
It denies Dalits their rights.
If I ask you.
Right. In fact, you know, that is the point that I was trying to make to Mr. Sajjad Tariq. And before I wrap up, Sajjad Tariq, I want you to quickly counter what Shehzad Poonawalla has said. If we really want people's voices to be heard, if we want to know what people,
Mr. Poonawalla is not
what people want as far as 370 is concerned.
Let me complete. I'll get just 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Complete. Mr. Poonawalla doesn't know the exact what is the position in the ground. He is just sitting at his home और अपने घर में बैठ के हम लोग जो भी कुक करते हैं, that is no, the Kashmir condition of Kashmir has deteriorated. अब हमारे पास एक वेपन है, हमारे पास जब कोई बात करने के बाद हम पाकिस्तान को उठा के ले आते हैं, चाइना को उठा के ले आते हैं, and we have plenty other things to do, and we say कि 370 was benefiting 2 families. Go to the ground and ask the people. The people of the whole state are disturbed.
Yes, go and ask the people.
And this disturbance, and let me tell you,
सज्जाद तारिक, अगर आप उन लोगों से पूछेंगे जिन्हें सालों बाद अपने राइट्स मिले हैं, तो वो तो 370 के एब्रोगेशन के पक्ष में ही बोलेंगे.
Yes, I think you're right.
We cannot overrule it.
नहीं सज्जाद तारिक, फिर आप उन लोगों की भी बात कीजिए ना जिनको सालों बाद अपने राइट्स मिले हैं. अगर आप उनसे पूछेंगे कि क्या आप एब्रोगेशन ऑफ 370 के पक्ष में हैं, तो वो हाँ में जवाब देंगे आपको. व्हाई डोंट यू टॉक अबाउट दोस पीपल?
You know, a basic law. Do you know,
let me complete.
Against the atrocities of Dalits
for what nobody knows. Nobody knows for what central government has fought all the 8 or 10 political parties of JNK.
You know, I think when we are all saying let people decide, let's hear people's voices, तो जब all party meeting होती है, अगर all party meeting assembly elections को लेकर बातचीत होती है, तो आप होने दीजिए. आपको एक बड़ा मैंडेट मिलेगा, आपको एक क्लियर पिक्चर मिलेगा. Like Dr. Kaul said, let's hear people's voices, not through media. Let them respond through vote. Let them respond through vote. I think that would satisfy you as well, Mr. Tariq. For now, I have to wrap up the debate. Thank you very much, Shazia Almi and all the gentlemen for joining us on the broadcast.
You're watching the News Hour Special Edition.